Hi friends, welcome back to the Hangout. Now before we dive into this episode, I want to make sure that you are caught up with the latest season of High School Musical, the series, because there will be spoilers in this episode. Now, if you haven't caught up, go watch it and then come back and hang out. Also, this video is not sponsored, but I wanted to give a special shout out to Disney Plus for helping out and making these episodes possible. Now, let's get into it. Today on the Hangout, I'm really excited to be chatting with Roman Banks, who you might know from Broadway of Dear Evan Hansen, or one of the new faces on Disney Plus's High School Musical, the series. And to be honest, I'm really excited to be talking to Roman because I guess I'm excited to talk to most guests that come on the show. But Roman has his own music, and so I'm so excited to talk to him about that. But rambling aside, let's just welcome Roman Banks to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm also very excited. I love talking about all things art and I was hoping I didn't say I love talking about myself. But no. I love talking about the projects I get to work on because I've been so fortunate to work on what I feel like are really great projects. So thank you for having me, Sydney.
Yay!
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So actually, every single week so far, I've had some of your cast members on the show, and I've gotten all of them to do the Ryan and the Sharpay warm up just to get into the mood. So give me your best, like, ma.
I need it right now. Okay, here we go. Ma. I've never done that. It gets the blood flowing.
Yeah. Especially, I guess it's early over here because I'm on the West Coast. It's like 9 a.m. right now.
Oh,
I guess it's kind of midday for you.
9 a.m. This is a great 9 a.m.
Well, thanks. It's also a heat wave over here in Vancouver right now, where I'm in Canada, surprisingly, it's like 40 degrees over here, right? Celsius. So it's like
Celsius. That sounds hot.
I think it's like 100 something at least.
That sounds so hot. Oh my God. I think New York's supposed to get one, but I don't think we're supposed to get up to 100. That's nuts.
Oh my God. I don't know the Fahrenheit Celsius situation, but it's, usually our normal is about like 25. So like 40 is hitting it. It's hitting it.
Wow. Yeah. Ooh, my gosh. Okay. I will, stay inside.
Yes.
I know you probably heard a lot of that, but just a little bit longer.
Yeah. Got the ice. Got the AC. Nope. Got everything.
Yeah. Fans going, little mist spray. You'll be good.
Yeah. Little spritz. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Can I be honest? When I discovered that you had music, I was listening to it and I was bopping and I was like, okay, I feel like Anthony Ramos, Bruno Mars, Khalid all just had a music child, and it's Roman Banks.
I have never heard Anthony. I've never heard Khalid. That is wow. I really like that mixture. I really like that mixture. I assuming you're referencing Anthony's first album.
Yes.
I loved Anthony's first album so much. I'm
so good.
I don't want to get into any trouble, but I listened to The Love and the Lies yesterday. And I liked like 3 songs on it. But I think what I love so much about The Good and the Bad is like, you can tell it's from such a storytelling perspective.
It totally
is. Anthony said himself, he was just like, this time I just wanted to have fun and talk about, cool shit or whatever. And so I was like, oh, okay, I see the difference, and it's very more like down the middle pop. Mm-hmm. But yeah, The Good and the Bad it's so special in my heart, and I was hoping for a little more of that. But artists should embrace all sides of themselves. So.
True. And then I didn't know, but then after I went to your TikTok, and you have covered so many Bruno Mars songs. You've got so many like Bruno Mars like comparisons. And I was like, there was this one comment that I read, and it said he did it better than Bruno Mars himself. And I was like, okay, accurate. I could see it.
They're tripping on that app sometimes. Let me tell you, they be tripping like some. I'll do a cover, right? Because like I started off singing Michael Jackson on TikTok. Because a lot of people used to tell me like, your voice sounds like a middle-aged Michael or whatever. And so I started off doing that, and then they were like, oh no, I kind of hear Bruno Mars. And so I started doing that. And then it's so funny. I would get comments that were like, this is cool, but you're never going to be Bruno Mars. And I'm like, cool, I'm not trying to be Bruno Mars. I'm just covering the song. And I get comments like, wow, like Bruno hasn't dropped something in so long, you might as well do the album. And I'm like, whoa. I can't leave the door open. I can't do that. And so I like the middle line of respect where it's just like, this sounds good, and he sounds like Bruno Mars. It's like, cool, both parties are happy. The inspiration's happy, I'm happy, there's no disrespect in the air. So man, TikTok, the comments on that app, whew.
He went viral with over 1 million TikTok views on the Michael Jackson videos, and I was like, damn.
Thank you. Yeah, to my surprise, I remember the very first moment. It was the third TikTok I posted. I remember the moment it started going viral. I was on a date, and the girl was in the bathroom, and it was in screaming range, and I was like, she was like, what? It's like, and it had like 15,000 views, but it happened so fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, oh my gosh. Yeah. And then I got addicted for a little second. I made like so many, and now it's more like a when I feel like it thing. But I'm really grateful for that app, and it's introduced me to some pretty cool people. So
this podcast episode is not sponsored by TikTok. We're just super invested in the app.
Let's get that sponsorship. Let's get that.
Sponsor.
Money.
Yeah, go for it.
There's a lot of it.
Last year you released your first EP, Days. Oh my gosh, so good.
Thank you.
I guess take us back to your musical background. Like, how did you get started with music? Did you play instruments growing up?
Yeah, and first of all, we didn't grow up with a lot of money, so there were no instruments just lying around. I'm very jealous of the kids who like, my parents forced me to take this, or we just had a piano in the living room. Like, I'm like, totally. Oh my gosh, that life would be so amazing. I still want to get a piano, like, just in my house, so I can eventually like set aside the time to learn. But anywho, first of all, I'm the only artistic person in my immediate family. My dad he was in a band, but I've never seen that side of him in my life. I've never seen my dad behind a drum set in my life.
You gotta bring it out.
I know, right? He like toured in like Germany. I'm like, Dad, get a drum set.
What?
My mom, I will say, she raps sometimes. Like, she's made like raps for her friends, like little songs for her friends. Amazing. But again, like a once or twice in my life kind of thing. And so like, no one really put me in the arts in my immediate family, and no one does the arts in my immediate family. None of my siblings, especially. And so I loved to sing growing up. I just loved to sing. I remember the first time my auntie was the first person who told me like I had a voice, and I was like, what? Because we like all sang Mary Had a Little Lamb for her, and she was like, I think Rowan's got a voice, like, to my mom. And then when I was 11, I started singing in church, and I did that for like 2 years, and then I went to high school, and two of my close friends pulled me aside after class. We were waiting on his mom to pick us up, and they both sang, and so they were like, why don't you sing for us? And so I sang like John Legend, and they were like, oh bro, you can't, because I wanted to do straight theater. Like, I saw I Am Legend, I was like, I want to be an actor. And my friends heard me sing, and they're like, oh no, you can't do straight theater, brother. You got to go to musical theater. And I was like, Broadway is not for me, because I hadn't seen myself on Broadway at all. And I was like, Broadway's not for me. Like, that's like for white people, you know? So I was like, there's no way. And they're like, no, trust me. Like, you're going to get leads in the shows. Like, you want to do it because not a lot of people can sing. And that was kind of the beginning of everything in the most hilarious way. And yeah, that's when I really started taking singing seriously. And I would just go in my room, and I really learned to sing by ear in the sense of like just practicing, listening to my favorite artists, Bruno Mars, Michael Jackson, Broadway performers, and just trying to sound like them as much as possible. But that's really how everything started.
That's so cool. We haven't released this episode yet, but I talked to Jesse L. Martin, who was on Rent. And he was like one of like the earliest Black like performers on Broadway. And he was telling me how musical theater and everything is kind of sometimes through the white lens. And for you to make like Dear Evan Hansen and being that first Evan of Hansen of color, what was that like for you and like just that entire journey? Because it started out in 2017 with a little tweet to Ben Platt.
You dug. You
Go
dug.
and give us like the whole backstory.
Yeah. I was obsessed with two musicals. It was Hamilton and it was Dear Evan Hansen. And I remember it was the moment I saw Ben Platt on Seth Meyers. It was late night at Seth Meyers and he sang Waving Through a Window with the little scene from Laura Dreyfus. It's the only time he's ever done a performance with the scene from the show. And I was obsessed. I was like, this character fascinates me. I was like, I myself don't struggle with social anxiety, but like I think something really deep in me connected with Evan. I just think I don't know what it like was. I think it's just the way my brain can be sometimes. Like I think I'm really good at masking all the things that fly through my head. And I think that character was that like I think that side of me personified. And so I immediately connected with Evan. And I was like, also the acting, I kept reading all the articles about the show and then I listened to the music and I was like, this role is insane. Like I want to play this role so bad. And I was like, well, I got to go to college. And then by the time I graduate college, I'll be this old. And then the show will have been out for this long and someone Black will already have played it. But like, I remember I'd be sitting in my college dorm and I'd be like, I wonder if I could be the first Black actor. And I was like, I mean, it's not too far, right? Like maybe, but I was like, I'll probably never get the chance to. So anyway, I sent that tweet on a whim and he obviously didn't respond to it. But yeah, no, I was obsessed and I like literally would watch videos. I watched the bootleg so many times and I like would study Ben Platt's performance. Like I remember I was in auditions and they were like, less Ben Platt, more Roman. Ooh. I was like, okay. Like I didn't even know what that meant because I was like, But yeah, no, there was an open call in February 2017, New York City. No, it was 2018, my bad. February 2018, New York City. I was in college in Winchester, Virginia, Shenandoah Conservatory. And luckily there was a senior in callbacks and I really wanted to go. And he drove us up, we got to stay with his friend for free. And I stood in line at at Pearl Studios. It was like 500 kids. Wow. I counted like 5 Black kids, lots of kids wearing blue polos and song. And I got called back for Jared. And I was like, my roommate got called back for Evan. I was like a little jealous. I kept looking at his stuff when he was in the shower and like rehearsing Waving Through a Window my voice lessons. I get called to New York after I do the Jared callback. Sure enough, Michael Greif, I get through all the Jared stuff and he asked me to sing Evan. He's like, do you know any Evan material? And like my life, it was like slow motion, life flash for the eyes. Everything slows down. You're like, this is the moment, And so it's like, I was like, yeah. I like tried to like not come off eager, but like I was like, yes, I'm very prepared for,
of course,
for no exact reason. And I did it, and the preparation came through. And they were like, wow, do you live close? And I was like a 4-hour bus ride. And they were like, cool, we want to have you back. And I was like, oh my God, I was ecstatic. It was like a snowstorm in NYC, but it could not ruin my day. I go back. I auditioned for Evan and Jared. I think I do a good job. They moved the audition so fast, they don't have time to give me feedback because they were so behind. 2 months go by. I don't hear, completely let it go. I get a call on a random day from New York. I knew exactly who it was as soon as I called.
Oh my God.
They invite me back to New York. They take me to see the show twice. I do like a 3-day intensive so they can get to know my Evan. I auditioned for Evan, Connor, and Jared at the end of that. I go back home and then they call me back again. And then I do a 90-minute audition, 30 minutes with the associate team, 60 minutes with the entire creative team. Yeah, and it was one of the craziest days of my life for sure. The audition ends. They told me to sit outside. 10 minutes. The producer, Stacey Mendich, comes out and tells me I got the job on the spot and that they need me in 2 weeks. I'm 19. I'm like, I got to move here in 2 weeks. I don't have any money.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I tell my whole family and friends it was a day of many tears. I fly back home and I start looking for apartments for New York City. I didn't even talk about the show. Yeah, being the first. But oh my gosh, I always tell too much of the story.
No, that's
Um,
crazy. Like it literally sounds like a roller coaster event and just sounds insane.
it
Keep
was a
going. Sorry,
lot.
continue. Continue.
No, you're so fine, Sydney. You're so fine. It was a lot, but no, it was my dream. I every step of the way, I was thanking God and being like, okay, I guess we're still in this. So I knew from the moment those words left Stacy's lips that day that like that was humongous. Because I knew there was no black boy in the building. There was Sky Lakota Lynch, who's mixed. But yeah, there was no in my skin complexion in the building,
Yeah.
right? And a lot of times we see lighter skinned people, even if they are black, lighter skinned people in representation for, black people. And so I knew, what it meant to be of a darker shade in inheriting that role. And honestly, everyone at theater was like, calm down. Like I came in but like, I don't even know the word, but like,
Guns blazing.
yeah, like full speed ahead, like I'm gonna be the first black Evan Hansen. I can't wait. This is my dream. I follow you all on Instagram. I've seen tours of this theater on theatermania.com. Like a fan got the role. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
crazy.
And everyone was like, calm down. You're probably gonna go on for Jared first. You're probably gonna go on for Connor first. And I was like, no. I was like, no, I'm gonna play Evan first. Like literally, like the wardrobe told me that. The stage management told me that. My castmates told me that. And I was like, no, I'm gonna play Evan first. And they were like, okay, kid, you clearly don't know how it works. Sure enough, December 12th, I put on the polo. And I remember like I posted it on Twitter, I posted it on Instagram, and my phone, like it was like boom, 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 boom,
Oh my
like
God.
notifications. But I couldn't really use my phone because like the top bar wouldn't
She
stop.
was broken. She was
She was
broken.
broken. Yeah, for like I think from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. it didn't stop. Like every fraction of a second there was some notification.
Oh my God.
Um, it was magical. It was magical. I knew how much it meant to people, but I never could have imagined the support I'd feel walking on that stage. I walked on the stage after crying in the dressing room, and I remember seeing Ben Platten's show, and I was like, he got a huge applause because I saw him at the end of his run, and I was like, man, it would be cool, but it's not gonna happen. So let's just start the show. And I opened the laptop, and it's like 30 seconds of just like screams, like powerhouse applause. Some people are standing on their feet, and I was just like, I cannot believe this is happening. And it was it's still the best day of my life. It's still the best day of my life. Yeah, and I still get messages that are like, like this means so much to me. Like this, you've inspired me. The representation, like from little kids who have someone like me to look up to. That's why I didn't want to do
Totally.
Broadway, because there was no one like me, on stage. There was no
Yeah.
Hamilton, and so when that full circle moment starts happening, that's why I do what I do. So
That's absolutely insane. And I will just quickly graze upon this, but there's that video of you on your first curtain call running up to the front of the stage and just like I will literally cry watching that video because I'm just like I can see how happy you are in
mhm.
that moment and I just feel like I'm living through you in that moment. It's just like, oh my God, wow.
I've watched so many people take that bow, Ben Platt and Ben Ross and Michael E. Brown, Taylor Trench. And I had looked up videos, people taking that bow. So I remember being in the wings and just looking at everyone else run out. And I was like, I cannot believe I get to do this on this stage. But yeah, I think the best part of being in that show was the very first time I paid like all the money I had in my bank account to take a trip to New York to see Ben Platt in the show right before he left. It was like in November. And I sat top of the theater. My ticket was like $300, and I sat top of the theater, top row, and I was just like on the edge of my seat the whole time. And at the
Yeah.
end of the show, there's like a monologue Evan does, And I got to look at that seat every time, and every time it would make me emotional because I was just like,
Stop. She
I was
gonna
like,
cry. She gonna cry.
I was like, you could have never told that kid. Not only would he be on the same stage, not to like a year later, like basically a year later, but to be the first of himself on this stage. Like,
Oh my
you
God.
could have never told that kid that. There's still pictures of me like at stage door, like getting Rachel Bay Jones's autograph. Anyway, it's nuts. It's nuts. But I will always be so grateful for that opportunity.
That
Change my
is insane. Like, wow. I feel like we should talk about High School Musical, the musical series, because we are
right,
gonna
right,
run out of
the,
time. We are gonna
the
run out
new
of time.
thing.
Honestly, I'll have you back for like an hour-long episode and we can just go
Let's
off.
do it, Sydney. Let's totally do it.
But okay, episode 8 for Disney Plus's High School Musical, the musical. This series is literally, I want to say, can we say it's Roman's episode? Can I just say it's Roman's episode?
I guess in a way it is. I guess it's Howie's episode.
Howie's
It's
episode,
so weird
correct.
because like there's a lot of stuff that happens, right? Like we see
yes.
we see Reenie like, and then
Yeah.
that's huge. Like that, like
I cried. Don't even worry. I cried.
That's gonna trend. That's gonna trend on Twitter for sure.
Yeah.
Like Reenie
100%.
we see Big Red and Ashlyn getting into their first debacle for the first time. We
Gina
see
and EJ.
yeah, Gina and EJ are like starting something new. We're trying to like that might be a thing. EJ with the whole Duke thing. So it's like it's a lot. And I like it's a big episode. It's a very emotional episode. I think it's a real turn for the season.
Oh yeah.
And I remember the moment Tim called me and was like, hey, so we want you to sing a song in episode, 8. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, it's a B song. I'm going to do a verse. Joshua Bassett's going to do a verse. It's going to be cool. And we're going to get split it. And I remember him playing me the song. And I was like, that's one singer the whole time.
What he deserves. I was
like, do they want me to like literally said I was losing my mind? Because I was just like, there's no shade, no tea, but I was thinking of the other cast members who have not sang a full song. Like
true.
Still to this moment, like I still like there are some cast members I am still singing a full song before. And so I was like, why am I getting this opportunity? Why is this such a big moment? Why is this at the end of the episode? Like, why? It literally wraps the episode and then there's a blackout. And so I am so honored. I am so grateful. I'm so excited for this song. I've been dreaming of this moment since he sent me the song, and I can't believe it. Like, we're days away from it, but I'm still in awe that I got the opportunity to do that in the first place.
I said earlier, we are in a heat wave in Vancouver, and let me just tell you, when I watched If I Can't Love Her, I got a good chill for like 3 minutes, so it can be cool. So I appreciate that. It gave me shivers. It was amazing. Flawless.
Thank you so much. This is honestly so cool to talk to you about because I still have not seen it. I have not seen the clip. I don't know what the part looks like. I've heard it so many. I literally listened to it last night because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost here. But it is the most beautiful arrangement. It is so wonderful to get to adapt the song in such a modern way. Mm-hmm. And I think it ties into Howie and Courtney's situation so beautifully.
Yeah.
And I just can't believe that it's gonna be out.
Can we talk about the episode before with the big beast reveal? Oh, nobody saw it coming. I mean, maybe some people did, but like it was just when you heard the giraffe or elephant phone notification go off, we're all like, I'm too invested in this show. Somebody,
not to tie back to our huge sponsor TikTok, but I posted a TikTok like with the international super spy and like with Howie like taking off the mask.
Right.
And the comments, oh my God, they're so funny because it's so down the line. It's so like, I had no clue. My jaw dropped. I can't believe you did that. We were all rooting for you. And then there's the side of like, you guys seriously didn't see this coming. This was so predictable. I knew it from the moment like how he came on screen. And so it's so funny to see like where people were in the surprise and like how much they were like, oh my God. Cause some people heard my voice and they were like, oh, that's Roman Banks. Oh, that's Howie. Oh my God. You know, and some people were like, oh, I had no clue. And so, yeah, no, it was a big moment. Tim told me, obviously, when I was singing the Beast song that I was going to be the Beast. And I, once again, it was a moment of like,
What?
season. And I was just like, I was so taken aback because one, I was like, does that make me a Black Disney prince? Like,
Yep. Go off.
I was like, is this a thing? Is this a
Mm-hmm.
thing? And then I was like, oh my God, I just thought this kid was like a love interest and he was just going to be in the pizza shop and there were bigger plans ahead.
Let's
So,
make more history on Disney.
right? Like, oh man. And so it ties into, I think it ties into Howie's character really well. And I'm so excited for people to see how he navigates what has happened with him and Courtney, as well as what that means for them, as also like what that does for his character, like knowing that he does theater too, he likes to sing, you know, and so he's not, you know, just a sassy little piece of shop worker. So
Okay. Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. You work at the pizza shop. What was your first job when you were like growing up? Did you have like a first job?
When I was 13, I was a sweep in a barber shop.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
fun.
for 2 years, I would sweep up hair every Friday and Saturday. And
Nice.
it gave me a really fat wallet because they only paid me in cash.
Oh,
So I'd be at the football game like, does anyone want like
yeah.
a water bottle or something?
Just pulls
You
out the
know?
wad.
Yeah, because my wallet, like at points, my wallet wouldn't close because sometimes they pay me in so many ones,
Oh
and
my
I'd be
God.
like, guys, come on, we gotta do better. We gotta do better than this. It gets better than this. But yeah, I think I've had a job since I was 13. This is actually the longest time in my life I haven't had a job, I think.
Oh,
Since
geez.
I was 13 years old.
Wow.
So thanks,
My
pandemic.
yeah, honestly, thank you, pandemic. Okay, I think we have a few more minutes, but I'm gonna hit you with the biggest question. The hangout, we always talk about music. So
Okay.
we always try to figure out what or how music kind of impacts people in different ways. How do you
Okay.
think this art form in music kind of has changed your life over the years?
Uh, it's given me a place to belong. Acting has been a big love of mine for a long time. And music has slowly crept its way up to like almost equal level with acting.
Mm.
And as much as it's given me a place to belong in the world, it also gives me a place to make sense of my emotions. It's really been a healthy processor for me because I started I never really intended to put out music for the longest time, and I when I wrote songs, I wrote them for me. The very first song you can hear from me on Spotify or anything is the Honest song, and that was really just a diary entry to myself. And once I played that for people, that's when I was encouraged to put it out. But you know, songs for me, I'm trying to actually get out of just writing songs when I feel like writing songs, you know, because a good songwriter needs discipline. And I am working on music right now. You know, I don't know when it's gonna drop, but I am working on stuff to
We'll be in line. We'll be in
I
line.
had to put some stuff together. But yeah, I mean, it's songwriting so beautifully has been a way for me to put, you know, emotions of mine into form and into something that I can reference and remember, oh, at that time in my life, like this is what that felt like, or I was going through this. And there's a song for every period in my life, I think, like even if it's not released, like since high school, you know, there's always a something I can go back to and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. So yeah, I guess I've been writing songs for quite a while now, almost 10 years, I guess. But
Wow.
yeah, music means a bunch to me. Music means I don't know what I would do without music. I think even though I love acting more than music, just by a hair, I think because when acting is good, it's so good. But
Yeah.
I think if I had to choose one to live with for the rest of my life, like music or like TV, movies, entertainment, I would choose music just because that's how I get through the day. Like that's what I rely on. for so many things. You know, and so I'm blessed to be able to do a career, or to have a career so far that has utilized both those gifts. And I pray that, you know, that continues to happen because it's so fun. So fun.
Oh my God, you're amazing. I'm so happy I got to chat with you today.
Thank you, Sydney.
That was Roman Banks on the Hangout. And P.S. Before I end this, I'm going to say Roman Banks for Aaron Burr. Thank you very much.
Oh, hey, a few years, let me, you know, hey,
We're
I'll be there.
manifesting. We're manifesting.
Yes, we are. A Roman Banks for Aaron Burr. What do we say? Like 2025, 2020,
2025? 26? I don't know.
I'll do
We'll
it.
put it out there. We'll put it out
I'll
there.
do it. It's in the atmosphere.
Leslie Odom Jr., come on.
Leslie, okay, maybe that's a story for the hour episode, but
okay.
Leslie is my mentor, actually.
Okay, it's gonna happen. Like, come on now. There's literally no what?
He's my real life mentor. Yeah, he is.
Shut up.
Is so fantastic. That man is so fantastic. He deserves everything coming his way. I love that man to death. That I can talk about that for 30 minutes alone.
Yeah, we will. Okay. Yeah, we will. That was Roman Banks, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you all.
Thanks for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Leave us a comment and review on our YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're tuning in from. Make sure to like and subscribe as well so you know when new episodes come out. I would also really appreciate it. You can follow us along on all of our socials at the Hangout CA. That's it for now. We'll see you next week.